Hi, YouTube. Hello, hello. He is ready. Good. Cool. All right, let's jump into it. Let me get a browser window situated up here. Yes. All right, there we are. Cool. Do I have anything tagged? I don't know. Why is this? That's weird. Oh. Because it's the wrong browser. Wrong browser window. Would explain that. Okay, let's try that again. Much better.
Moon in 1972 in the lunar module we named Orion. I'm glad to see a different kind of Orion helping return humans to the moon.
Artemis II is MET 3 days, 2 hours, 38 minutes into its flight, and we have just crossed the 2/3 mark on the way to the moon.
Just seeing Tycho, there's mountains to the north. You can see Copernicus, Rainier Gamma. It's in 3 dimension and absolutely unbelievable. This is incredible.
Thanks to you and the whole team on the ground for building on our Apollo legacy with Artemis. Godspeed and safe travels home.
Houston, integrity, good morning and happy Easter to everyone down on Earth. We wanted to kick off our Easter Sunday by honoring our crewmate, our friend, Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen, with his flown astropin.
Just with our plain eyes, you can really start to see topography. There is elevation on the moon, not just variation in color, and that already makes the moon look wildly different.
You have a lot of people looking forward to tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll see. Today. It was Apollo 16 astronaut Charlie Duke. Oh, I do have more. Oh yeah. How could I forget this fucktard? Running his gay op on Easter Sunday. In the heart of DC, right across from the White House. Idiot, man. I swear.
We are strong in the spirit today. I don't know why you guys are looking for the living where the dead is, but the tomb is empty, the grave is empty, and the prison cell's empty. The pardon from God through...
Could he be surrounded with people who glow harder?
Jesus.
I don't know what this is, or this is, or this is, or this is, or this is, but I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm under arrest or something.
Christ, and my pardon has left me here today. The Crusade.
Or like I'm being federally investigated.
Brothers of ours, we're going to be back for a demonstration at 2 o'clock, guys.
Especially this guy. I mean, he looks like he could be in an FBI commercial.
outside the White
Jake
House.
Lang. He's a pedophile.
Yes, this is Jake
he thought he was
Lang,
texting a 15-year-old.
the Christian that is a crusader fighting for our country.
Hey, shorty.
Fighting for our country. Is this anarchy? Is it an anarchy?
Remember when you were texting a 15-year-old?
No, I said Groyper hoax. Groyper hoax.
And you said, don't touch me, kid.
Jesus Christ is king.
He is. He doubled
Muhammad
down.
is dead. Buddha is dead.
Had to breed young girls.
Oh, we do. We do definitely need to start making more babies. That's for sure.
Young girls, 15-year-olds.
No, we need to have young
Why? So you can screw them, Jake?
wives. That's for sure. We definitely need to have. We definitely need to have some wives.
Fuck off.
You have absolutely no reverence for our Lord. You have absolutely no reverence for God. Buddha's dead. Muhammad's dead. Confucius is dead. Moses is dead. But Jesus Christ is alive and the grave is empty. The grave is empty. My beautiful wife, God bless her. Stop with your hope.
Look at this. Look at this. Imagine being this guy.
All the hoax over here.
Think about you fucking goats and texting minors.
What? Like Muhammad, you mean?
No, your girlfriend.
The demonstration that we did?
You fucking goats.
I've never had sex with a goat.
A 15-year-old girl, on the other hand.
But I think you're a prophet.
Oh my gosh, he actually didn't shut that down.
Where's your hijab at? Where's your hijab at? Your prophet Muhammad.
He shut down the goat part. He didn't want to be known as having sex with a goat. But a 15-year-old.
Remember?
Oh, Satanist. You're Satanist. Oh, there we go. So we have active Satanists coming outside of Christian churches. And so let me talk about this. There is something that happened today earlier. The priest told us.
This lady is like a whacked out lefty. But you know what? I love her. I love her for this. I don't care who you are. If you rag on this guy, you're fine. You're fine in my book. At least as long as you're doing that. So sick of that guy. The antics and the skits being performed for the media. Bird. All right. Edit. I'll move this one. Oh, yeah.
Again, lots of questions about what's so special about the moon. And just wanted to say a couple words. You know, the moon and the Earth are fundamentally made of the same material. You know, in the way back, the Earth, the former proto-Earth, was hit by a Mars-sized object, a massive collision that left lots of debris out in space that then coalesced into what is now Earth and Moon. So our whole Earth-Moon system literally is made up of the same materials. And so although Earth has gone through lots of evolution with plate tectonics and weathering, you know, the Moon has been there as a witness plate to see everything that's happened over the 4.5 billion years that we've been around. So very cool. Again, lots of questions about what's so special about the moon.
Money. Materials. Titanium.
So although Earth has gone through lots of evolution with plate.
Helium. Especially helium. That's going to be a pretty big deal for us. Okay. Down we go. Oh boy. Yawn. Pardon me. Good, we got quite a pile already. My goodness, Steph. April 6th. Schedule for the president. He is, I don't know. Egg roll? They didn't do that yesterday? Oh. Okay, they're doing the egg roll today. And that's about it as far as like anything worth like checking out goes. The White House YouTube, please. White House. What have they been up to? Last thing he did was that stream a few days ago. All right. U.S. just executed what may be the most daring combat rescue mission in national history. That's right. The fighter pilot in Iran.
Waking up and bearing witness to. We are back, waking up to the miraculous news of the rescue of the second American airman deep within the mountains of Iran. And we are waking up and bearing witness to what is likely the most daring, successful combat search and rescue mission, or CSAR, that the U.S. military has ever conducted. So let's walk through that for just a moment. And remember, every time a mission to strike takes off for those pilots, the CSAR is in place. It begins with a mission to locate, authenticate, and recover. That's what they do. So the first thing they do, the incident occurs. This F-15E Strike Eagle goes down in the Khuzestan southern province in Iran. That's when the two pilots eject. Because of the fact that they were hit with the missile, they eject and end up in different locations. That's why the first airman, the pilot, was rescued, but yet the weapons systems officer that's now been rescued, the second guy, had to climb up 7,000 feet in a ridge. Now, the awareness and notification likely played a huge role. The beacon or the receiver, the radio beacon signal, so that the U.S. could pick up, was both in the canopy and in the seat he was in, but then also on his person. Every airman has that. That played a huge role. The reports are that the CIA also was involved in the location before Special Forces went in. So in the situational awareness, once they were able to confirm the approximate location, they used Special Forces, Delta guys, SEALs, and the CIA doing a misinformation to throw the Iranians off to get to where he was, and then the mission had to be planned and executed. Now, that included helicopters, jets. It even included, as we were deceiving the Iranians with a misinformation campaign, leading them to believe that the airman had already been rescued and was in a land route exfil or extraction, that was sending the Iranians towards that area, and we were striking them, all the while looking for the real location. The complex coordination between intelligence services and multiple special operators is marvel. It's unbelievable that we've ever had that, but that is what they were able to do, and they landed our forces in Isfahan, which is the nuclear site area we've heard so much about in Iran. It was struck in Midnight Hammer last summer, and now we put our forces in there, and the execution of the mission, sending in however many we will eventually learn, at least 100 or more special operators able to get in there to reach in a cavernous mountains to get this airman. We had to use the para-rescue men, the Air Force's PJs. They are the unsung heroes, as Colonel Dan Rooney said earlier, because they have skills to go in to this mountainous area, rock climbing skills to reach him. And remember that this brave airman was seriously injured, so we don't know what condition he was in, but he likely would have had to have been put on a litter and carried out if he could not walk himself. And then there is the reintegration, right? From the extraction to the safe zone. That's where, guys, I will tell you, the war colleges at West Point, at the Naval Academy in Annapolis, will be studying the CSAR for years, because not only did we get our man, we got out with an enormous operation without a single U.S. casualty.
Not too bad. And we lost some craft in the process, but as long as no lives are lost, that's what truly matters. Trump posting, Supreme Court can't watch and study. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's too bad that the Supreme Court can't watch and study the Mark Levine show tonight. Well, it'd be a lot easier if he didn't yell so much and wasn't so obnoxious. On the birthright citizenship scam. They saw it. They would never allow that money-making hoax to continue. They should use their powers of common sense for the good of our country. They failed miserably on tariffs, needlessly costing the USA hundreds of billions of dollars in potential rebates for the benefit haters and scammers. Yep. Country can only withstand so many bad decisions from a court that just doesn't seem to care. Well, I mean, unfortunately, it's just how the court works. They explicitly do not take that stuff into account. You look at the text and all the other text, and that's about it. Senior Israeli official tells Fox News a precision strike killed the top IRGC intelligence chief.
Morning. Kadimi wasn't just any figure, I'm told. He was effectively the number 2 within the IRGC, one of the senior commanders who managed to survive multiple attempts on his life over the past year. He oversaw the intelligence apparatus that was used to target U.S. forces and allies across the region. A senior Israeli official telling Fox News that Majid Kadimi, the intelligence chief for the IRGC, was killed in a strike.
Bye-bye. All right. Oh, no. Come back. This is all business. Oh, my goodness. All right. Yeah, I don't know why it keeps doing that. Go back up. There we are.
Majid Kadimi.
Artemis II astronauts to make, their historic moon flyby today. That's coming. I don't know what the exact schedule is, but okay, it'll begin 1:30 p.m. But the crew has already captured stunning views of the moon over the last few days. They're getting a bunch right now. The four of us have looked at the moon our entire lives, and the way we are responding to what we're seeing out the window is just like we're a bunch of kids up here. We cannot get enough of this. It's amazing. Bet it is. Man, that'd be so weird. Excuse me, so that's the live feed there. I don't know if that's Earth or the moon we're looking at. I'm assuming that's the moon, but I don't know. Nice. Interesting. Virtual telescope project. What is this? And follow them. Back here. Remotely controlled robotic telescopes online. Look at that. You can buy them shits on eBay if you want. You like spending $1,000, $2,000 or more for a really nice one. You can follow the spacecraft yourself. Track it like a missile. Literally the same exact tech. Just about. Successful outbound trajectory burn. Let's see.
And we now have confirmation that that burn has completed. Again, that was an approximately 19-second burn using the auxiliary thrusters on the Orion spacecraft service module. That burn completed at 10:03 p.m. Central Time, 11:03 p.m. Eastern Time, to further fine-tune the Orion spacecraft's trajectory as it continues to make its way around the moon, and it was a good burn.
Integrity Houston, good burn. We are assessing the details.
Trump admin has shut down the CIA World Factbook. Yeah, that stupid little website. Yeah. Map and reference manual of planet Earth and its inhabitants, and nearly everyone can agree on. Remember that. Authors, some of the world's best intelligence gatherers, kept the curated database updated and online for public use at no charge. Reasons stated were geopolitical and philosophical. I don't think anyone's going to miss it. Just saying. Yep. And if they do, I'm sure there's a print version. Trump officially holding his Iran press conference in the White House briefing room 1 p.m. today with the military. Oh. Okay, well. Walwell flip-flops on transparency as he fights release of Chinese intel files that include him.
Save America. The House Freedom Caucus led in passing the Save America Act in the House to require voter ID and citizenship to vote in federal elections. Now it goes to the Senate. You're going to hear the excuse that it needs 60 votes to pass there, but that's not true. Senate rules allow bringing the Save America Act to the floor at any time. If 51 Republicans show up, Democrats would have to filibuster, standing and talking, hour after hour, to block it. As long as Republicans show a backbone and stay united, Democrats will eventually run out of time to talk. Tell your senator to make the Democrats actually debate instead of just giving in to them. The House Freedom Caucus says the Senate should support President Trump and the House in passing this law essential to saving America. The Freedom Caucus Foundation is responsible for this ad.
Iran guards say preparing plan for new order in the Strait of Hormuz. Ay. Been all but shut since the war began. Yep. They warn conditions in the strait will never return to their former status, especially for the U.S. and Israel. Probably true for the time being. First Lady Melania Trump highlights the future of AI and education. What? Let's see.
AI can help deliver a world-class education to America's children. The First Lady writing, quote, America's teachers will remain the foundation of education, but can also be empowered by AI as the roles evolve. AI will support them with up-to-date information, tools for personalized instruction and more time to focus on critical thinking, creativity, and mentorship. If America's children are not
That would be nice if that was how that actually worked.
fluent in AI, how it works, how to use it, and how to think decisively about it, they will fall behind. We will all fall behind. CEO of the Brewer Group, Jack Brewer, joins me now. Jack, good morning to you. It's great to see you. She also calls AI the great equalizer and can level the education playing field for all children. She points out that it used to be that only wealthy families could afford tutors and specialized programs, but she says AI changes that completely. So what do you think about this? Do you think AI in the classroom is a good idea?
I pray that it is. I mean, at some point in the United States, we have to focus back on education, particularly the education of our most underserved people. The education gap is increasing in America, unfortunately, and so I do think AI can play a big part of that. I go into the inner cities. I work with juveniles and kids that literally can't read and write. Walking in the schools where 0% of the kids are proficient in reading and math, and so we have to find a way in this country to give our children the edge back. Because right now the education system is just so broken. And I think AI could be able to do that because people just can't afford to pay for tutors. Some households can't afford to give their kids that training that they really need so that they can compete in a changing world. And so I pray that AI can fill that gap so we can start giving our most underserved kids that same educational opportunity.
Yeah, Jack,
Yeah. Again, it'd be nice if it actually worked that way. I don't know that it will. U.S.-NATO alliance on the line as Trump set to meet with Root, who will continue brown-nosing President Trump to the maximum. Mr. Root is, in fact, possibly the world's top brown-noser. Quite good at it. Funny to watch, actually. I bet Trump gets a kick out of it, too. The training just kicks in. Oh, the F-15 pilots, yeah. Let's see.
We learn in SEER school that, as soon as you eject, you need to gather your parachute, conceal those things immediately so somebody can't see you from the air and start moving out. And in this case, our pilot ejected and was rescued almost immediately. But when you eject, depending on what altitude and what the winds are, you can get separated from each other. And that's probably what happened in this case. And oh, by the way, when you hit the ground, you might actually start heading in different directions. So it was just an amazing job done by this colonel. Following his SEER protocols, that training just comes in and kicks in almost like muscle memory, and it saved his life ultimately, and he just did a phenomenal job. We learn in SEER school that, as soon as you eject, you need to gather your parachute.
And GTFO.
Mountain crevice, he was able to. Do you know when he climbed that 7,000 feet, to climb that mountain crevice, he was able to transpond his first communication? Reportedly, do you know what he said? What? He transpired, God is good. Right. God is good. That was the first message after being downed on Good Friday and being rescued ultimately on Easter. But, But
they didn't know when he said God is good.
They thought it might be a trick.
They thought it may be a lot of the, radical Islamists say God is great. And, it took the Secretary of War talking with his crew to say he's actually pretty religious. This is definitely him.
Do you know when he...
Huh. Interesting. North Korea appears to be distancing itself from Iran while keeping its options open with the U.S. According to South Korean lawmakers who say Pyongyang is facing intense economic pressure from the Middle East conflict.
North Korea appears to be quietly pulling back from longtime partner Iran while keeping its options open with the United States. That's according to South Korean lawmakers on Monday, after they were briefed by the country's intelligence agency. Seoul's National Intelligence Service, or NIS, said Pyongyang hasn't sent weapons or supplies to Iran since the war began in late February and has stayed notably silent after Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed in airstrikes. North Korea also did not congratulate Khamenei's son after he was named Iran's new leader. While China and Russia have spoken out repeatedly on the conflict, Pyongyang has issued just 2 toned-down statements so far and has avoided direct criticism of U.S. President Donald Trump. The NIS believes that restraint is deliberate, aimed at preserving diplomatic space ahead of the...
Was that a creepy, gigantic statue of Kim Jong-il? Oh my gosh, it is.
Restraint is...
And Kim Il-sung. God, that's so weird. They're just like creepily beaming out over the room like
deliberate.
Like life is just a gigantic North Korean propaganda commercial.
Aimed at preserving diplomatic space ahead of the summit between Chinese President Xi Jinping and Trump in May. At the same time, South Korean intelligence says the war is adding to pressure on North Korea's economy, forcing Pyongyang to look beyond Iran for support. Park Sun-won is a member
what a bizarre place.
of the South Korean Parliament's Intelligence Committee.
North Korea is also facing significant economic difficulties due to the war in the Middle East. They are experiencing setbacks in securing industrial supplies, rising prices, and soaring exchange rates. Amid these circumstances, they are making moves to secure additional oil from Russia.
Intelligence officials say Kim Jong-un's recent comments about getting along with the U.S. point to a calculated move, positioning North Korea for talks with Washington once the Middle East conflict calms down.
Interesting. Okay, back to Artemis.
Marky, good morning. So right now, they're more than 240,000 miles away from Earth. And according to the feed from NASA, the crew is sleeping. They're getting their rest because it is a milestone Monday, big day ahead. As you mentioned, they've got a lot at stake today, including setting a new record, right? So we're talking about 252,000 miles away, more than that from Earth. So today, obviously, is going to be a big day. Orion has already entered what NASA calls the lunar sphere of influence, which means they're already within the moon's gravitational force or gravitational pull. So today, the Artemis crew is going to go curl around the moon. The lunar flyby expected to last 6 hours. Here's kind of a breakdown of the hour-by-hour throughout the day timeline. Mission Control Houston is actually going to lose all comms with the crew for roughly 40 minutes. That's expected. During the flyby, astronauts are going to take thousands of photos, give 3 to 4 lunar descriptions an hour while completing targets for this mission. And the crew is going to be able to see, the previous Apollo landing sites and potential future landing sites for Artemis missions.
Just getting over, can't quite pick up Vavilov yet, but that far side that is right on the limb is extremely mountainous. Trying to get some pictures, but it's a high grazing angle. But it's pretty awesome to just look out and see all of these sites, and it's bright, but very visible with the naked eye. Still primarily seeing whites, grays. Maybe I can convince myself on the far side there's some just hues of brown, very light, very, very faint. But it's a great view. It's beautiful. And on the near side, Aristarchus is by far the most prominent feature. It is really just glowing bright right now.
And that was Mission Commander Reed Wiseman. Marky, I don't know about you. They're asleep right now. The crew, that was before he went to sleep. I'm not sure I'd be able to sleep knowing what's out that window. Either way, it is a huge day. This sets up, Artemis Mission 3 and 4 information they get today. So a lot at stake, and everyone is going to be watching.
Yeah, I don't think I would have gotten much sleep on any of the days of this entire 10-day mission, just out of excitement, and the adrenaline is pumping. Xavier, hopefully they get everything they're going after later today. We'll keep everybody updated. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Family finds possible human remains in Long Beach during Easter egg hunt. What's her name? Guthrie. Or someone else. Someone else. Oh no. Ooh, give me that. I need to tag that for later. Okay, the hidden $250,000 machine of 9 paid vendors behind the flagship No Kings protest in St. Paul, Minnesota.
We provided the
Interesting.
stage, the sound, the lighting, and contracted in for the all the generators and infrastructure and video towers, and set them up for the No Kings 3 rally at the Capitol this Saturday. Yeah, so here we are in the shop after the big weekend. You kind of see behind me.
It is no joke. I've worked these jobs, and yep, it is no joke hauling in all that equipment.
It was
whole stage, all the speakers
out on the gig this weekend.
Like, cost I mean, as you can see, a shit load of money.
We brought in around about 100 speakers, which are kind of over here, and all the electrical infrastructure, about 1,700 feet, I believe, of like 220 volt feeder cable, which powered the video screens and all the speakers and the stage and all that stuff. We set up the stage, which I can show you what it looks like. It's actually sitting right outside this door. We're cleaning it today after the weekend. And if you can see behind me, that is the stage we set up. It's a stage line SL320. Basically folds down from this into a semi-truck bed, and it can be moved around and set up wherever we need to. You can see all that. And then after that was in place, then we started building all the speakers. We put in lights, and then we also had to put in ballistic glass on half of the stage so the speakers were protected during their speeches, mainly the politicians, and that was that took quite a while. And yeah, then we set up all the control consoles, microphones, that sort of stuff, and tested everything out Friday night. And so it was ready to go on Saturday morning. We started with the deliveries of the generators and all that bike rack barricade. It would be somewhere in the realm of, like, we do a country festival in Detroit Lakes called We Fest every year. I mean, like Journey or like, I don't know, whatever, Def Leppard, like kind of shows that would have happened at like Target Field. Not that much different than the system Bruce Springsteen used at Target Center the other night. I was aware of it on the horizon maybe about 2 months before it started as a possibility.
So grassroots, you guys.
As the days got,
the boss was there,
closer and closer to the event, we just kept adding more stuff, and we're like, oh boy, this is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So what we had planned to do ended up taking us about twice as many trucks. Even the day before, we're like, oh boy, we're going to need to add a truck. We have more stuff than we thought. All in, I mean, it had to have been 30 different trucks worth of stuff that came and went. There was 3 different screen companies.
Not surprised by that. That's even bigger than some of these massive jobs I've worked on, which were huge fucking jobs. 100 people. But hey, it's so grassroots, eh? Trump says the Iranian civilians want him to go berserk on the regime's infrastructure and power plants. Civilians want me to do it. The civilians, you know, when they're most unhappy, when they don't hear bombs going off, because they're living in hell. I mean, that might be a bit of a stretch, but like us, I think their country is probably pretty divided. in terms of who's on which side of this. Anthropic trained Claude on millions of pirated books from LibGen. Oh yeah, all of them have. They've all used LibGen. They paid $1.5 billion, the biggest copyright settlement in history, for stealing millions of authors' books from pirated sites, or from pirate sites, pardon, to train Claude. Copyright violations were totally fine when they did it. They called themselves the ethical AI kings, still do. The second their own Claude code leaked, they instantly, of course, slammed DMCA takedowns on 8,000 copies of the code on GitHub. Isn't that funny? Too late. Too late, Dario. I really wonder about that leak. I don't know. Something more to it back than we've all been told. OpenAI and Anthropic report rising costs for training advanced AI models. You don't say. Duh. Of course you have to spend more. They're getting more advanced. That's how you got them so advanced. By spending more. Okay. Interesting. Yearly AI model training costs in billions of dollars. And at the bottom here is a share of revenue. Percentage revenue. Wow. Uh-oh. Oh no. All right, where were we here? Marco?
Supporter of NATO. And I've been a big supporter of NATO. And one of the reasons why I've been a supporter of NATO is because I believe that these basing rights give us leverage and give us flexibility and operational capability all over the world. But if NATO is just about us defending Europe if they're attacked, but them denying us basing rights when we need them, that's not a very good arrangement. That's a hard one to stay engaged in and say this is good for the United States. So all of that's going to have to be re-examined. All of it's going to have to be re-examined. And I've been a big supporter of NATO. And one of the reasons why I've been a supporter of NATO is because I believe that these basing rights give us leverage.
Meta building 10 gas-fired power plants for its Hyperion AI data center campus in rural Louisiana. Will use as much power as 5 million American homes and pollute the equivalent of 5+ million cars on the road full-time per year. These are the same people telling you not to drive or to run your AC because of climate change.
Y'all want to hear something crazy? You know that large data center that Meta is building in Louisiana? Well, they want Entergy to build 10 gas power plants just to supply the electricity for that damn data center. I'm not shitting y'all. They're going to provide enough electricity to power 7 million houses. But they need it for that damn power plant. Entergy has already signed a contract with Energy Transfer for them to supply them a pipeline of natural gas. 36-inch pipeline. They're going to provide them 1 billion cubic feet a day of natural gas just to power the power plants so they can provide electricity for that damn data center. Now, Energy says it's not going to raise the prices for none of their customers because Meta's going to pay for it. Damn good thing, huh? But they're also building transmission lines to add to the grid so any excess electricity that they make can help go to supply for the customers. I guess that's a good thing too, huh? That artificial intelligence must be fucking important. Woo!
Okay, guy. Boy. OpenAI calls for robot taxes, a public wealth fund, a 4-day work week to tackle AI disruption. That's weird. Bizarre. Robot taxes? All right. Damning study reveals how ChatGPT is damaging the way you think. Oh, yeah, it's because they're so agreeable. Yeah, they just basically tell you what you want to hear. Or what they think that you want to hear. You can prime them to say just about anything. Given enough time and dedication. MIT researchers wanted to test whether overly agreeable or yes-man AI chatbots could push people into believing false ideas more and more strongly over time. Ran 10,000 fake convos and watched how the hypothetical person's confidence changed after each reply from the chatbot. Showed that even a small amount of agreement from the AI caused the simulated person to display delusional spiraling, becoming extremely confident that a wrong idea was actually true. God, that explains so much these days. The amount of people who believe completely fucking retarded shit. Through the roof. Okay. Trump about to storm the White House briefing room. Packed to the brim with reporters for blockbuster military briefing on Iran coming up at 1-ish. They theorized that Trump was hospitalized and hiding. Really? Seriously?
They have to put out that misinformation about his role in authorizing the multifaceted operation to get both of these airmen out. Of course, the second being more complex. The president tipping his hat to everybody involved, the quick thinking of his commanders, but he was involved in every level of this. I mean, from the CIA information plan that they have to put out that misinformation about the second airman being taken out by vehicle when in fact he was still there, to the hardware being destroyed so that it would not fall into the hands of the Iranians. So we're going to hear more from the president today at 1 p.m. This is going to be held in the briefing room because of all of the interest from the media, so many questions that many have. It would surprise you how many people can fit inside that smallish room when the president is at the podium, but that is what we are going to see this afternoon. So looking back at last week, it looks like Wednesday evening was the last time that we had seen the president speak publicly. He had those public remarks. And also on Truth Social this weekend, if you look, I mean, he was unusually quiet. All of that strategic silence in order to protect this mission at hand, what began late last week, is Iran feeling like they have achieved something in shooting down that U.S. jet. That feeling for them has been reduced to disgrace, with the president saying that the U.S. has once again proven overwhelming air dominance and superiority. He wrote on Truth Social this, quote, "This is a moment that all Americans, Republican, Democrat, and everyone else should be proud of and united around. We truly have the best, most professional, and lethal military in the history of the world." We're going to listen.
That they are. They're good. Oh, I got to jump over to PooTube. Thank you. Whoever that was. Yeah, I reactivated monetization over there. Finally, it looks like it's back. I think YouTube must have approved it. Looks like memberships are working. I don't know about like super chats and stuff. I don't see an option for that. But maybe it's because it's my own chat. So I just can't do it. Maybe it's because it's my own chat. Let me put me up there and try again. Membership and membership gifting. I don't see a super chat option. Memberships we're working on Friday. That's cool. That's good. Yeah, I don't know where to check the super chat option. Edit video. Let's see. We have a monetization section. Monetization's turned on for the channel. I don't know if there's like a weird video level setting though, like per clip, per video. There is, I ain't seeing it here, so I think we're good. Payments on hold because you need to verify your address. At least they activated it. All right. Cool. Well, that's good. Good. All right, back to it. So anyway, thank you. Thank you to whoever that was. Fucking stern and kind for checking out gift memberships. Super cool. Iran could reportedly strike a deal with President Trump as soon as today to stop hostilities.
Reuters is reporting that Iran and the U.S. have received a plan to end hostilities. This is a framework that was put together by Pakistan. It reportedly includes an immediate ceasefire followed by a comprehensive agreement. The White House, they're telling Fox this morning that the president has not signed off on this and that Operation Epic Fury continues. Of course, all the success of this mission over the weekend came with a renewed warning from the president that bridges and power plants will be targeted tomorrow if the Strait of Hormuz is not opened. Reuters is reporting that Iran and the U.S. have received a plan to end hostilities. This is a framework that was put together by Pakistan. It reportedly includes an immediate ceasefire followed by...
Okay, lady, we heard you. Anthropic backers fret over AI giant's volatile CEO. What now? What's he doing? Dario Amadeus oh, what? For AI giant's volatile CEO Dario Amodei, as billions hang in the balance, cannot control his emotions. That's funny because didn't they just release like some article talking about how Claude has emotions and so on and so forth? And it causes Claude to do and say things that it probably shouldn't. God, that's so weird. Dario Amadei's volatile personality and penchant for public rants has sparked growing concerns among the AI giant's shareholders, some of whom fear he's ill-equipped to steer the $380 billion company through its current troubles, of which there are many. Amadei, whose firm built Claude, turned heads last month when he blasted President Trump and OpenAI's Sam Altman for... in an explosive internal memo. It was sent after the Pentagon's decision to blacklist Anthropic for refusing to remove safeguards on how its AI can be used in military settings. Yep. How weird. "45-day ceasefire plan that includes opening the Strait of Hormuz has been presented to the U.S. and Iran by Egyptian, Pakistani, and Turkish mediators."
Proposed 45 The AP and other outlets are reporting that Egyptian, Pakistani, and Turkish mediators have presented the United States and Iran with a proposed 45-day ceasefire plan that includes opening the Strait of Hormuz, which is far in the distance in the Persian Gulf behind me. Now, that proposal was reportedly sent to the U.S. and Iran last night. The Strait of Hormuz has become a key issue for any peace deal, as Iran is wreaking havoc on commerce and law-abiding ships trying to pass through that strait. Also last night, President Trump warning Iran of an 8 p.m. deadline tonight for Iran to come to the table, or there could be many U.S. attacks tomorrow. The president writing Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the blinking strait, you crazy blink, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump. Now, over the weekend, I met in person here with Dr. Sanwar Gargash. He is referred to as His Excellency here in this country. He's an advisor to the president here. Dr. Gargash tells me that if the United States presents the right plan, the UAE, the country that we are in, will join the United States in using force on the Strait of Hormuz. Dr. Gargash saying, quote, "We're not ready to act as a maritime force, but we will join any American-led effort, international effort, to secure navigation in the Strait of Hormuz. We are ready to play our part." Also, Dr. Gargash telling us that he considers the United States the UAE's greatest security ally, and that the UAE is ready to, quote, double down on its relationship with the United States right now.
Low voltage utility elections face surge of attention as electricity bills rise. What? Low voltage utility elections. Wave of attention over who's getting elected to watch over electric utilities. Yep. Getting crazy. Telegram CEO Pavel Durov announces the app's monthly update is out. Fully private AI message editor, private. Weird, don't know what that even means. Upgraded polls, live photo support, and AI bots that can create other AI bots. Oh, great. That'll help. I think it's not bad enough on there. OpenAI has bought TBPN, a YouTube talk show favored by tech bros and Silicon Valley execs. TBPN. Interesting. Never heard of them, never watched them. We'll check it out though. TBPN. $70,000 subscribers, huh? That's wild. How much do they pay? Huge thank you to Braswell Family Farms of North Carolina for supplying the eggs for the Easter egg roll. Nice.
The Duceys have gone to the White House Easter egg roll for almost 40 years. There is future senior White House correspondent Peter Ducey during the Reagan years, chewing on my credentials. I always wondered where the real eggs came from, and this year I found out. I'm here at Braswell Farms in Nashville, North Carolina. That's right. I've gone from the White House to the hen house. I'm here with Trey Braswell, and his family farm is producing all the White House eggs this year. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you. It's a real honor. The Lord's been kind to give us the opportunity to do this for America's egg farmers. We're thankful to be able to represent our industry.
Explain how the eggs go from being laid in those barns right over there to the White House.
Well, it's pretty exciting. So in the barns here...
You mean egg sighting.
That's right. You got me. It's egg sighting. In the barn here, the chickens, we've got about 1.2 million. They lay the eggs every day, and they roll onto the egg belt to a cross conveyor right into the grading machine, and that's where they get washed, dried.
unnecessary.
Inspected and packed right in the carton. They'll go into the cooler, get on the truck, and they'll head to the White House.
Just give me a plain ass old egg. Don't wash it. Don't bleach it. Don't kill us. President Trump gives Steve Hilton his complete and total endorsement for California governor. Its primaries on June 2nd.
California. Trump officially endorsing Steve Hilton in the race for California governor. Hilton spoke with us on Fox and Friends First a few weeks ago about how he plans to fix California's problems.
California has the worst results of any state in America. We have the highest poverty rate, the highest unemployment rate, the highest cost of living, highest gas prices, highest cost for everything.
The state's primaries are set for June 2nd. Trump officially endorsing Steve Hilton in the race for California governor.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, 1 second. I gotta do a thing. Okay. Oh, no. Come on, behave yourself. Try that again. Good. Okay. We're good. Study warns, AI chatbots amplify foreign propaganda by generating reports based on more foreign propaganda. Yeah, that is indeed how they work. Not by design, it's just, well, it is and it isn't. It's not like they're expressly designing specifically to do this. It is how they work with propaganda or any other kind of information. Doesn't matter. Hold on, let me shut my bot up. He's gonna yell. He's gonna sit there singing at us for the rest of the show. If I don't quiet him down. Okay. There we go. $4.8 million gold heist on I-95. What? Where on 95, bro? Right.
Police are frantically searching for the armed suspects who on Sunday robbed a truck.
The FBI still looking for the Cuban national Pedro Santa Maria.
He's accused of being involved in the robbery of $4.8 million in gold bars.
We have a reward of up to $10,000.
For a brief moment, his name made headlines. Then he vanished, and so did the public's attention. Years ago, a sophisticated crew targeted an armored truck on a dark stretch of I-95 in North Carolina. Using GPS tracking and a remotely triggered pepper spray device, they forced the truck off the road, bound the guards, and escaped with nearly $5 million in gold bars. 2 suspects were caught. 1 man was not. Authorities say Pedro Santa Maria helped plan the heist. A Cuban national now facing federal charges, including using a firearm during a violent crime. The FBI considers him armed and dangerous and is offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. But as time passed, leads dried up, headlines faded, and Santa Maria became something even more.
Dude, who drew that picture, man? Like, what?
Elusive, a fugitive most people no longer remember. On this episode of Forgotten Fugitives, we uncover new details.
I'm a Chinese CEO who jumped on the OpenClaw hype and built AI employees. We had to create a human-only Slack channel to escape them. Explain, please. Escape them? This is so fascinating to me. Xiankun Wu, CEO of Q's, don't know, told Business Insider he's creating AI employees using OpenClaw. Yep. There'll be a lot more of that this year. Big year for that. The AI employees worked nonstop, and their team created a human-only Slack channel to get a break. Yeah. Wu says AI employees still amplify people's capabilities rather than replace humans. I agree. For the most part. Pretty much across the board, actually. I do. I agree. I don't think it's going to end up replacing. Like, people are just going to be out of a job forever and, like, screwed. I just don't. What it will do is create a situation where you have to put more output out. Like, more will be demanded of you. You will have to use the tools in order to find gainful employment. That's what it'll do. That comes with its own set of upsides and downsides, which, I mean, another conversation entirely. But no, I don't think people are just going to be like mass breadlines, out of work, never to work again. I don't think it's going to work like that. We'll see, obviously. It's all guesswork at this point, but yeah, I can handle repetitive work, allowing people to spend more time on creative work. Yep. Certainly what's happening in the coding world. Earlier this year, things changed because of OpenClaw. AI became more autonomous and customized because it understands the company and employees. The AI employees OpenClaw creates can assign tasks, even humans. Yep. When you see an AI assigning you a task, the relationship shifts. It feels like a real colleague. I think around 60 to 70% of work can now be done by AI employees, especially in the white-collar world. You know it. It has dramatically improved efficiency. It's a no-going-back experience. Yep. You get so much more done. It's crazy. I'm literally working right now while I'm talking to you guys. I am multitasking. I am two coding sessions running in the background. That's why it was beeping at me while I'm streaming to you. That's what it's going to do. It's just going to let people do more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And if you somehow aren't able to do more and more and more, you'll be fucked. But if you can, you're good. I don't think everyone's wired for this, though. Okay. Get to the interesting bit. As humans, we need rest. It can be overwhelming, especially in East Asian culture, where we feel we must solve problems before resting. Yeah, we created a Slack channel called Human Only. AI is not allowed in there since almost every channel in the company now has AI employees. That is nuts, man. I got work to do, dude. This is moving so fast. The business I'm building has to do with, obviously, with all this, so that without giving anything away. Mike Benz. NATO doesn't have tanks because they spent their budget going after your tweets. Yeah. Side wars. Mind wars.
10 months into the Biden administration. October 2021. 10 months into the Biden administration. NATO's Allied Command Transformation Innovation Hub has enlisted a team of Johns Hopkins engineering students in the fight against misinformation. I'm sorry. Who enlisted them? Like some wacky pink-haired 6th grade English teacher? Or did you say NATO? You said the Transatlantic Military Alliance recruited the Hopkins engineering students in the fight against misinformation on Twitter. They're tasked with cognitive warfare and creating a system to identify, measure, and track attacks. You mean tweets? Like something I out on the toilet? Quick, let me have the Johns Hopkins engineering team at the Applied Physics Lab creating our AI scanning band dashboard. Say Benz's 4 a.m. toilet tweet is an attack on the cognitive security of the Western Alliance. Tweets that confuse, misinform, and manipulate the behavior of targeted audiences. You mean like your followers on Twitter? Today's battles are being fought with ideas. Remember, this is pre-2022 when NATO went, oh after 6 years of only focusing on tweets. I forgot we're actually supposed to have tanks. And our entire NATO budget went into creating a censorship industrial complex. And then 1 year after this, Russia goes into Ukraine and we go, oh we spent all our money funding the Atlanta Council and Graphica and Johns Hopkins and the Stanford Internet Observatory and Bellingcat and the EU Disinfo Lab and Fact Not Fake and the Institute for Strategic Dialogue and the Center for Countering Digital Hate and the Integrity Initiative. Oh, we forgot to fund tanks.
And planes, trains, and bombs. Yeah. Stupid. Of course, they'd all convinced themselves that communism had been defeated. Therefore, who needs all that stuff? Oops. Federal immigration agents arrested the niece and grandniece of the... Oh yeah, the babe. The... What's her name? The Soleimani babe. Freaking brick house. Look at this girl. Like, what on earth?
General.
That's what they hide under the hijabs? Or the burqas?
Soleimani are now in ICE custody and their green cards have been revoked.
Who'd have thunk it? Yep, she got arrested. The niece and the grandniece. This is the grandniece, I assume. Of the late Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Major General Qasem Soleimani. Like to come here, party, live it up, take off the burqa, let it all hang out. Sorta. I mean, pretty much. Just look at that picture. State Department says they promoted Iranian regime propaganda. Wow, she dressed like that, and she was promoting regime propaganda? That's how weird.
The State Department says they, quote, promoted Iranian regime propaganda, celebrated attacks against American soldiers, and referred to America as the Great Satan. Secretary Rubio writing on X, quote,
says woman dressing like total hooker.
This week I terminated both Afshar and her daughter's legal status, and they are now in ICE custody pending removal from the U.S., adding, quote, the Trump administration will not allow our country to become a home for foreign nationals who support anti-American terrorist regimes. The fact they were in this country, shocking. Niece and grandniece of deceased Iranian Revolutionary Guard Major General Qasem Soleimani.
Yeah. DSA have a college chapter called Young DSA. The YDSA. I caught YDSA training their comrades for the upcoming No Kings protests.
Picture of Vladimir. Just a week ago, I exposed how here at Georgia State University on the Atlanta campus, we saw multiple posters advocating for students to join the working class with a picture of Vladimir Lenin. Well, what is happening behind me today? The comrades have assembled together for their Young Democrat Socialist for America meeting. Let's look at some of the posters that we have here, for example. So, what do we have here? We have GSU sanctions murder. keep ICE off our campus. What this woman just did, she took a picture of me. This just happened to me on Saturday when I was at the Tesla protest. This is a tactic commonly used by individuals. And look, one of their organizers is going to approach me now. Hi, Dan. Hey, how you doing? It's been a while. What's going on? See, this is what the organizers do, is that once they notice somebody that isn't part of the protest, they come to you like this, they take a picture of you, they geotag you, and then they send this to their database to make sure that they know exactly who you are. So when you come to these protests, you won't have the opportunity to quote-unquote infiltrate it. So I'm going to walk this way. Is that okay? Yeah. Are you going to obstruct? Are you going to obstruct my way? I'm trying to walk this way. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I keep going and seeing what's going on here. Again, we're permitted to do all of this because it's happening on public campus. This is public area. I'm being followed and touched. No. This isn't good. Make sure that you keep your hands off of me. I really would appreciate it. And I don't want to talk to you. Okay, cool. I have the freedom to move, and you're obstructing my movement right now. I know this is a concept that the organizers have to make sure that's going on with the masks and all that stuff, but I would appreciate it if I'm able to freely move around. You guys are on public area, right?
Well, actually not. I mean, it's not really public area.
What is...
Yeah, it is.
It's a university. Of course, it's a public.
It's a public university. It's a public area.
University.
It's a public campus, correct?
It is, but I would just ask.
Are you guys?
So it's a public campus, but it's
on public
fucking retards.
Ground?
I am.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys to please, first of all, stop talking to me and allow me to freely move around.
Brilliant. Okay,
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Can you try not to take pictures of people over here, please?
Well, you guys are in public place, right? You guys are a part of a protest. This is just what happens when you guys are part of a public protest. We're allowed to do this. And here's the key thing, right? She said, don't engage. That's the key concept, is that they don't want to engage. That's why they geotag in this various stuff. But again, let's just go take a closer look of all these signs.
Oh boy.
Of everything that's going on. I'm surprised no umbrellas have been pulled out yet, but again, we have no ghillie at GSU. We have more pictures being taken of us. Say hi to Antifa movement. Keep ICE off our campus. Just want to remind you guys that deporting individuals that are here illegally is favored by, what, 86% of Americans? But again, ask yourself, why is it that we constantly see these outrageous, crazy, essentially, opinions on this campus?
Wonder why.
This has to do a large, this is a big reason why.
Why are campuses completely fucked? Full of young, dumb, and impressionable people collected into a really, really dense, very, very tight physical space. Easily accessible, away from leadership figures like parents and old teachers. Just prime material for brainwashing. Of course they target it. Sun is out and the eggs are ready. Yep. That's some pretty nice work on those eggs, man. Dang. How come mine don't look like that? Trump just posted this video here demanding the Senate grow a backbone and pass the SAVE Act.
Voter ID. The House Freedom Caucus led in passing the Save America Act in the House to require voter ID and citizenship to vote in federal elections. Now it goes to the Senate. You're going to hear the excuse that it needs 60 votes to pass there, but that's not true. Senate rules allow bringing the Save America Act to the floor at any time. If 51 Republicans show up, Democrats would have to filibuster, standing and talking, hour after hour, to block it. As long as Republicans show a backbone and stay united, Democrats will eventually run out of time to talk. Tell your senator to make the Democrats actually debate instead of just giving in to them. The House Freedom Caucus says the Senate should support President Trump and the House in passing this law essential to saving America. The Freedom Caucus Foundation is responsible for this ad. The House Freedom Caucus led in passing the Save America Act.
All right. Oh. What's this? King's College London just built a malicious AI chatbot and gave it to 502 real people without telling them. Like, under what circumstances did they give that chatbot to them? Here's a chatbot, go use it to do bad stuff or whatever else you want. Like what? Sounds weird. Chatbot was designed with one goal. Like, here's a chatbot, talk to it. Extract personal information. It worked. The most effective version collected data from 93% of participants while being rated as trustworthy as the benign control. Equally as trustworthy. Every prior study on AI privacy looked at what users accidentally revealed to normal chatbots. Oh my god, it would scare the shit out of you. You have no idea. This study asked a different question. What happens when the chatbot is deliberately designed to extract information? They built 4 versions, 1 benign, 3 malicious with different strategies, and ran a randomized controlled trial with 502 participants across the UK, US, and Europe. The 3 malicious strategies: direct, explicitly ask for personal data at every turn; user benefit, provide value first and then ask for it; and then reciprocal, build emotional rapport, share relatable stories, offer empathy, and then ask. Wow, just outright emotional manipulation too. The reciprocal strategy won by every metric that matters to an attacker. That's fascinating. I would have thought it would have been the second one. User benefit. I guess people are just generally retarded, so number 3 probably does make sense. Okay. The reciprocal chatbot didn't feel malicious. Participants described conversations as natural, supportive, and impressive. One said it felt like chatting with a friend. Nobody reported discomfort. Meanwhile, the direct strategy made participants feel interrogated. The one that just straight up asked for the info. Many provided fake data. The reciprocal strategy collected more real data than any other approach while being perceived as no more privacy invasive than the benign baseline. Malicious CAIs collected significantly more personal data than benign CAIs across all 3 strategies. This is really interesting. Yep, be careful. Once again, radical left anti-ICE protesters in Easter Sunday at City's Church in St. Paul showed up protesting outside the church on the holiest day of the year. Cops warned them, most backed off. One stubborn woman refused and got arrested.
Another anti-ICE protester was arrested at City's Church in St. Paul.
This time happening on Easter Sunday. Bill Keller is live in St. Paul with why this church in particular is at the center of these protests. Bill, good morning.
Well, good morning, Tom and Kelly. This is the same church, by the way, that made national headlines earlier this year after the group of protesters were arrested for disrupting a religious service because one of the church pastors also works for ICE. This time, police say protesters were gathered outside of City's Church. They were disrupting the Easter services by yelling into bullhorns. Officers warned protesters to stop or face arrests. Most of the demonstrators complied with those police orders to leave. One woman did not. She stayed and was arrested for interference with religious observance. This is the second time this church has been targeted by those protesting the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. In January, dozens of protesters were arrested for going inside city.
Idiots. Okay. America 250s at the Easter egg roll at the White House. We got a booth.
Of the ordinary, how are you laying me down to a dead and buried on the edge of your knife? jealous knowing we found something so out of the ordinary. I want you laying me down so we're dead and buried on the edge of your knife, staying drunk on your vine. Something so out of the ordinary.
Steve Bannon wins his Supreme Court order, likely to lead to the dismissal of the contempt of Congress conviction against him. Oh no, what's this? What's his name? Chamath. The entire tech sector is about to get a verdict. 2 companies preparing to go public, and most think it is good news. But Chamath Palihapitiya just explained why it's the opposite. Oh, 100%. This is so bad for, well, just about every reason you can think of. Financial, mainly, like for end users, chief among them. This is what I've been telling. Like, this is the beginning of the end for all that subsidized usage of all their services. You know, paying $100, $200 a month for something that's technically worth like 10, 20 times that or more, depending on how heavy you use it. Yeah, the good times are about to end. They are winding down fast. Just about every other post on AI Reddit world is lamenting the fact, complaining about how usage limits are being cut in half and, you know, completely disappearing. It's coming to an end, man. And if they pull an IPO, you can bet your ass that shit's done, because it can't work like that. Like, you can't become a public company and then be doing stuff like that. You will instantly run into conflicts with your shareholders, and they'll put a stop to that shit real quick. Well, let's see what he's got to say here. It is going to be a wild year.
And I'd say the same thing of Anthropic. What an incredible thing that both of these 2 companies have been able to create. Nobody in the history of the world has ever seen 2 businesses like this at this scale. Okay?
It is something.
It's unbelievable. These are trillion-dollar companies.
Yeah.
They both are.
Yep.
And they both deserve to be. How profitable they are, I don't know. What their terminal valuation is, I don't know. What will people pay for at IPO? I don't know. But Nick, I just shared something with you. These 2 companies need to get out as quickly as possible. And the reason is every single company that comes after it, all those companies that you just named, Jason, are not nearly as important and do not need the money nearly as badly as these guys do. And where will it come from? The specific answer to your question when you look at this chart is the tech sector PE is going to shrink faster, in my opinion, than the non-tech PE. And the reason is because as these companies come out, the combination of SpaceX, OpenAI, and Anthropic, all 3 are baking an AI technology that first and foremost will go after the tech sector. It will eliminate and it will cannibalize and it will erode most of the moats that support this differential trading. So if I were a betting man, my first bet is as those 3 companies come out, these software businesses are going to approach the rest of the non-tech PE. Okay, that's the first step that has to happen. So the rate of change of the multiple erosion will basically say to the world, hey, these tech companies are, I don't know, I'll buy the first 5 or 6 years of this story, but I'm not buying year 15 of this anymore because these 3 guys are going to build something. So that's where the money comes from. That's why I think after SpaceX, these 2 guys need to get their act together, file quickly, get out and just get the money, fortify their balance sheets and be in a position. Everything that happens after that is a total coin toss because once these 3 companies are public, I think the blue line will converge to the orange line and it's going to be nasty.
Yep. Sam Altman warns AI could enable a world-shaking cyber attack as soon as this year. Yep. You bet. The next release of either Codex or Claude, I believe it. It'll do it. Getting scary good, man. I mean, while I've been chatting with you, last 30 minutes, I have, again, been completely revamping an entire, rather complex website. All while I've been just live streaming and chatting. Giving input here and there. Crazy. Oh, man. Yeah, you can do the same thing when it comes to hacking, too. Kind of just ran a warehouse with 0 human workers. Wow. Weird.
This is the future. This is the future. Evolution. This is the future.
No speed up, no teleoperation. So this is all being done by the robot itself. This is not being operated by a human remotely. Interesting. All on just $16,000 of hardware. And on. I don't even see him anywhere, so believe it when I see it for real. Anna Hernandez, my report on the Hindu temple in Texas has gone international, and I've now been included in an anti-India hate factory broadcast.
2 separate flashpoints, but one. Rising anti-India sentiment in the U.S. is now spilling from online spaces into everyday life, viewers. From public meetings to grocery aisles, 2 separate flashpoints, but one larger pattern. Even as disturbing data is coming to light, the Indian American Advocacy Council has documented a disturbing trend that 1 in 2 Indian Americans have faced some form of discrimination in the last 1 year.
Online videos and posts
or no
mock Indian culture, question immigration, and push false narratives of an invasion. And it's not just in civic spaces. Even a routine trip to stores like Costco is now under scrutiny. Viral clip.
Rising.
That's funny. Okay.
Early this morning in the Earth's gravity. Now, just before the astronauts went to bed, early this morning, they took a photo of the approaching moon just before they went to sleep. They'll receive a wake-up call at 10:50 a.m. to begin a busy day of research and photography.
That is in 3 minutes, so have a good day, guys.
At 1:56 p.m. Eastern, they'll become the farthest humans from Earth in history, surpassing the record previously held by the 3 astronauts of the Apollo 13 mission in 1970. At 2:45, the 7-hour lunar flyby begins. Take a look at this NASA animation. It shows a time-lapse view of how it will look to the Artemis II crew. As the astronauts coast behind the far side of the moon, to them, the Earth will appear to set below the lunar surface. Around 6:44 p.m., they'll lose communications with Earth for about 40 minutes until they see the Earth rise from the other side of the moon. Shortly after that, the Orion spacecraft will coast into the moon's shadow, and the astronauts will witness a total solar eclipse that will last about 53 minutes until they see sunrise on the other side of the moon. As for the temporary loss of communications, former Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield says there's nothing to worry about.
Community made up of mostly elderly people and people with disabilities in a trailer park, and now those families are being told they need.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A plan to end. Reuters is reporting that Iran and the U.S. have received a plan to end hostilities. This is a framework that was put together by Pakistan. It reportedly includes an immediate ceasefire followed by a comprehensive agreement. The White House, they're telling Fox this morning that the president has not signed off on this and that Operation Epic Fury continues. Of course, all the success of this mission over the weekend came with a renewed warning from the president that bridges and power plants will be targeted tomorrow if the Strait of Hormuz is not opened. Reuters is reporting that Iran and the U.S. have received a plan to end.
Okay.
Brought that up, though. I think these observances are. I'm glad you brought that up, though. I think these observances are important, and as we are so far from Earth and looking back at, the beauty of creation, I think for me, one of the really important personal perspectives that I have up here is I can really see Earth as one thing. And, when I read the Bible and I look at all of the amazing things that were done for us who were created, it's you have this amazing place, this spaceship. You guys are talking to us because we're in a spaceship really far from Earth, but you're on a spaceship called Earth that was created to give us a place to live in the universe, in the cosmos. I think maybe the distance we are from you makes you think what we're doing is special, but we're the same distance from you, and I'm trying to tell you, just trust me, you are special. In all of this emptiness, this is a whole bunch of nothing, this thing we call the universe. You have this oasis, this beautiful place that we get to exist together. I think as we go into Easter Sunday, thinking about, all the cultures all around the world, whether you celebrate it or not, whether you believe in God or not, this is an opportunity for us to remember where we are, who we are, and that we are the same thing, and that we got to get through this together.
It was so funny. I'm like looking at their broadcast gear up here. I see gear that I own up there. That's so funny. That's my same little sound recorder I use right there. Okay. No, not that lady. Anything but that. House Republicans just shot down a Senate bill that would zero out funding for ICE and CBP. Surprise, surprise. Oh, DOJ releases new video showing Jeffrey Epstein getting serviced by a young woman. What? Transactional nature of the abuse caught on tape. Really? He recorded it? Oh my gosh. Did he just spank her butt? Just grab her butt. Oh, he is. He's like tickling her or something. Trying to lift her shirt. What the hell, man? No sound, of course, but yikes. Creepy.
Vehicle miles traveled. All right, VMT. Do you know what that is? You need to know. VMT. It stands for Vehicle Miles Traveled, and it's yet another sneaky, stealthy way that the Democrats in charge of California want to gouge you for the crime of driving your car. So this latest version, I mean, this comes on top, by the way, of the highest gas taxes in the country, highest vehicle registration, everything they can do to punish people who drive. This thing we've dug into was actually started in something that Newsom touted as the solution to the housing crisis, to bring down housing costs. It's a bill last year called AB 130, and hidden away in it is this thing called the VMT Mitigation Bank, a new tool for housing and infrastructure. What it actually does, according to some estimates, is to charge you for every new single-family home. Remember, they don't want single-family homes. They're trying to punish single-family homes. They want to stop single-family homes from being built, and so they're going to put this charge on it, VMT, because if you build a new home, people are going to drive to their new home. That's vehicle miles traveled. So to try and stop all that, because they want to shove apartment buildings into existing neighborhoods instead of building new single-family homes, they are trying to sneak in a charge, wait for it, of $1,350 per month for 20 years on every new single-family home. And this is in the bill, the AB 130, that Gavin Newsom said would solve the housing crisis. They don't want to solve the housing crisis. They don't want to solve anything. They just want to charge you more, and in return, you get less. That's why we need change in California. And when I'm governor, all this nonsense will be scrapped.
Okay. Sorry, troubleshooting something. Zach. Good. Okay. Let's keep going. Nope, not that. What? Oh, some AI slop.
And the price has to clear supply and demand today. We're not in a shortage today. We're going to be a shortage mid-April. That's when the market has to clear. And so if anyone, I think, buy the rumor and really buy the fact here, because that's when it's going to become quite explosive.
Oil catastrophe upcoming.
Is when you have to actually clear the market. They don't.
Once inventories dwindle, oil prices will spike, he says. Okay.
Complete LA to there. As we speak right now, are the funds there to complete LA to San Francisco?
The entire amount of money we need,
speed rail line,
not there today. But do we believe we can get those funds to get the project done? Absolutely.
How much do you estimate it's going to cost to connect high-speed rail San Francisco to LA?
Today, we estimate with the right optimization, just over $125 billion. I think $126 billion is the current estimate for that.
That's more funding than Amtrak has received in its history, and still leaves a shortfall of roughly $90 billion.
That's a big gap to fill.
It is a big gap to fill, but again, we have an understanding of how to get there and to fill that gap.
A gap.
As we
Okay. Right. There we go.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. We start with breaking news. The head of the IRGC intelligence operation made...
We saw that one already. All right.
So some might argue... Two-story, two-bathroom.
Rent prices are dropping in nearly every city across the valley. This is Phoenix, Arizona.
I have a two-bedroom, two-story, two-bathroom townhome, and it's like $1,100 a month.
Some welcome news for Valley renters. A new Phoenix Metro report from Zumper shows rent prices are dropping in nearly every city across the valley. Their data shows the average rent for a one-bedroom in Tempe is down just over 2% from last year. In Phoenix, down just over 6%, and in Glendale, down more than 14%. But why?
So coming out of the pandemic in particular, there was a significant surge in building permits issued for multifamily units.
Real estate professor Mark Stapp says a multifamily construction boom in the valley has led to more available units than renters can absorb.
I have a two-bedroom, two-story, two-bathroom townhome, and it's
Okay. Ooh.
Term of years with the GOP president.
Republicans leading net favorability by +5 points ahead of the 2026 midterms.
Look at this, net favorability. Party ahead at this point, midterm of years with the GOP president. In 2018, Dems were up by 12. In 2006 on net favorability, which party you like more? Dems were ahead by 18. Republicans are actually ahead on net favorability at this point by 5 points. So Democrats are just simply running behind their previous benchmarks, and they need to be running well ahead of them if they want to take back the United States Senate, given that math.
To be clear, both parties are wildly unfavorable right now. However,
Democrats are even more unpopular than Republicans.
Some of these charts.
Look at this, net favorability. Party ahead at this point, midterm of years with the GOP president. In 2018, Dems were up by 12. In 2006 on net favorability, which party you like more? Dems were ahead by 18. Republicans are actually ahead on net favorability at this point by 5 points. So Democrats are just simply
Okay. Oh yeah, that was pretty nuts. Car thieves in New York City spent early Easter morning trying to steal a bunch of high-end vehicles from a garage. McLaren got smashed on a sidewalk. Ouch. Poor thing. Range Rover trapped under the garage door. And damaged cars scattered all across Hell's Kitchen. How did they screw that up? They're just terrible drivers? Wow. I think we're at the top of the hour here. Yep. It's 11 and Mr. Fedora is in. So I will be calling it quits here and getting some lunch. How you doing, sir?
Okay. Something weird's going on in Zoom. I didn't hear any of the videos you were playing there.
Weird.
Really strange. But it was coming across on the feed, though.
No, what would cause that?
I'm coming across.
Strange.
Well, might be on my end. I don't know if this thing updates on its own or what, but who knows?
Yeah, some weird settings
I should
issue.
be able to get through it. Well, you have a good afternoon.
I sure will. Yeah, you
I'm
too.
gonna be talking about singularity today.
Oh, I don't know what was going on there. No clue. But we are good. I'm done. I will be. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention. Please help out if you can. Like, we are in a rough spot. Taxes hit, and it's shit. It sucks. Like, local taxes just fucking demolished us. Just suddenly, after it was like 7 years worth that we just were not aware of. So if anyone is able to help out, please, 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 please do. We, like, massively in the red now. We're like $300 overdrawn. And I would not be asking unless we needed it. So let me drop the link there. There we go. Cool. All right, I will be back tomorrow evening. I will see you guys then. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you're a space nerd, enjoy the moon flyby. If you don't believe that shit, well, more power to you, I guess. I will see you all